Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Championship Saturday for Rival. By the end of this day, we will have finally crowned a champion. 3 months worth of work, all leading up to this. And what better place to start than the upper bracket, Journeyman versus Mystics. My name is Sir Pixis, and I'm joined here today by the wonderful Aaron.
Hello, Pegasus. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. But what's what's gonna make my day even more better, I think, is ending a good day on a good championship Saturday here. And well, I see Journeyman and Mystics here, and I'm guessing both teams want to go through here. I mean, I guess that's the plan for both of them, but yeah, I can't really set up predictions here because I haven't really seen enough of both these teams, but I've seen a little bit of Journeyman, and I think they can go in strong today.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Journeyman are the first seed. They have the most game wins in both conferences, I believe, by quite a bit. I'll check the exact stats for you here. They have got 48. Oh, sorry, second highest. Highest only in their conference. Onka got 55 game wins in the other one. They'll be the other ones to watch on the A stream right now. But Journeyman versus Mystics. Mystics beating Nightfall 3-1. It was quite one-sided, I guess you could say, having to go only to game 4, not having to battle it out here in game 5. And we've got two teams here with all equal stats offensively, but defensively, Journeyman look much stronger, which makes more sense with them being the first seed heading into this.
Yeah, I mean, first seed is always the favorites to win there, and I like a little underdog story here. So I would say a game 5 here for Mystics win here is going to be a little bit more realistic for my eyes, but I think Journeyman might as well sweep. So I'll just go for a 3-2 Mystic to spice things up. What are your predictions for today?
Well, Mystics, they've been playing really well recently. They've got a good team on their hands. Maui, Hunter Sam, Avelios, and Kaf. Maui obviously getting Clip of the Week, I believe, in week 9 or week 8, very late in the season. So certainly a player on form and a player to watch, part of that winning team that even got them to this upper semi-final. So you don't want to underestimate them, but equally, can you really fall back on Journeyman? They've been so strong the entire season. They have earned that first seed rightfully, and here they are in playoffs in the upper bracket, and I think they're going to continue. I'm going to also give it a game 5. Journeyman 3-2.
Oh, a little spicy game 5 for both of us predictions, but now it's just up to the players whichever team is going to take that game 5, or we're just not gonna go to game 5. It's just gonna be a 3-game series, but I don't know yet. That's up to the players, but I think I want to get get the players in really quickly.
Yeah, of course, and I've launched the question to the players asking them if they're ready to start off the championship Saturday. The producer has given the go, go, go. Let's go straight into game number 1. The upper semi-finals of the rival division. Let's get this party started.
Already started, starting off in Sen's favor. Sen's now X-Loss gets it to the side, while Hunter Sam gets it out with a huge bang that's going to send Sen now up. Sen with Maui. Maui gets it over Sen. X-Loss now gets an immediate shot on goal, but saved by Hunter Sam. That was really close. Sen made him a little awkward on that save there, but eventually he got it.
And this is a battle between two conferences here, and one of them looks to go out on top already. It's Journeyman of the Glacies, your first seed, heading into this match, starting us off nicely. A shot off the backboard. It was undefended. It was way too easy early into the game. Journeyman require no warm-up.
A warm-up for them indeed, but another kickoff that is won by Sen. A beautiful speed flip there by him. I mean, you gotta love to see those speed flips already coming in the first 30 seconds. They already want to win kickoffs, they already want fast goals, and this fast-paced gameplay is rewarding them with the first goal.
And finally forced into defense here. Journeyman do well to clean it up. Sen getting the ball forward. Axelos waiting in back corner, manages to beat Maui. It looks dangerous, no one going up for it. I think we've got low boost amounts from both sides, no one really able to take advantage. Now that hit, finding its way in the middle. Hunter Sam has the opportunity to get the equalizer. You've got to be slotting those onto way. Now they've invited this counter-attack, which Axelos wants to put in. Big clearance here from Maui, and Tank, not the best touch, might get followed up fast, and it's a complete overcommit, a complete misread, and the scoreline has been doubled.
I'm not the only one to agree here that this shouldn't be a goal. I mean, Tank left his goal open there, but then he's like, oh, the other goal's open, shooting it in the other net actually, and now doubling their lead here to 2-0, and there's 3 minutes 43 left, still enough time for Mystics to bounce back here, but it's going to be hard if they keep on playing like this. But goal, it was close there, but Tank gets the save there. Now for the counter attack for the trio, maybe perhaps Tank goes up, but Hunter Sam clears it out.
And it hasn't been a dominating start from Journeyman. Mystics have certainly had their chances. The problem is, just haven't put them away. I think the scoreline, if anything, should be equal right now. That second goal coming from a complete misread of the backboard and an overcommit from an opportunity they should really be scoring. But Journeyman, they've just been cleaner, they've been better with their opportunities when they have come. Velius now, however, pops the ball up nicely, gets the first reset, trying to clip on him in the upper bracket. Unable to get it, and now Journeyman once again trying to be fast onto the counter-attack. However, two teammates kind of sitting back a little bit, letting this pressure happen. But, fair to say, they've dealt with it fairly well.
Oh! There's a start!
And it's the caster's curse on the fourth player clearly here for the Mystic side. Velios, who done quite well here on the offense, created some chances, whether it's a flip reset, anything in the air, looking to dominate. And Journeyman gave them a bit too much of the ball, too much space, and they've been able to finally half this scoreline, get their first goal, and hopefully that's them warmed up into the series.
Hopefully for them here, maybe they can double their digits there to make it 2-2 here, but it's still 2-1 for the Journeyman side. But now Sam goes up but misses the ball, same as his opponent does, Axlos, but now Tank on the counter attack. Velios gets in the middle, but not to his teammate, it's Sen who gets a shot, but that's not even close to being a goal. Well, it was close, but not that close, if you can call it like that.
Yeah, I mean, there were just little things that could have been fixed there to certainly make it an easier chance, but Journeyman now, once again on the defense. Tank, living up to his name, does well to hold that midfield really well, stopping the ball from heading over him. Now, an attack could be created. I think the next goal, if Journeyman are the ones that score it, it's going to make it extremely hard for Mystics to lead at the end of this first game. But the job is not finished. Mystics back on the attack. Velios has been so promising to start us off. It's an incredible pass. Hunter Sam was waiting on the end of it. The counter-attacks, they finally get their revenge on Journeyman, and we're on an equal game. Momentum certainly in Mystics' favor.
Oh yeah, Mystics, I mean, they were 2-0 down, showed the perfect bounce back, now being 2-2, all equal now, back to a 0-0 scoreline essentially, but now Sen goes up to the left wall, goes up on the ceiling, is gonna want to go for a ceiling shot pass there. Velios gets in the way though. Maui now, Maui tries to shoot it, tries to get the shot, no, oh no.
Oh, and well, unfortunately, this is what happens sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, when you're on stream, all the lights are on, and you happen to spawn on the wrong side on the pitch. You're gonna have devastating moments like that for the whole audience to watch. But look, that one, I mean, it's just unlucky. How are you gonna spawn there? Rocket League, a game that credits itself with having no luck. Well, that's that 1% of it coming to show.
Oh yeah, indeed, the RNG on the spawns are a little off. Especially when you're unlucky like Tank there, but they immediately get a goal back. And that mistake is immediately sealed back off.
And it's really good work on the counter. Sees that open net, has to go on high, sends it to the right. Hunter Sam's on the left, as far away from the ball as possible. That's how to get yourself back into the game. They've had a bit of a goal drought compared to that first minute of this game, but now We're on 6 goals and equal scoring. It was a game mostly in the Mystics' favour, I would say, but anything could happen now, especially with Journeyman on the attack. And then unable to get it on target. It's a huge clearance, end-to-end action within this last 2 minutes. Avelios now powering his way through. Hunter Sam makes the most of his position. Avelios gets it back in the middle. The connection from these two players are so strong. Maui! Oh, coming from third man. Went for the double tap. And unfortunately, the defense just too strong.
Just too strong, and but these last 10 seconds come to an end here. It's the question: is it going to be an overtime, or is it going to be ended in the next 3 seconds? It's an overtime here, and there's only one goal that can separate them from the win here.
It looked so much in the hands of Journeyman. They did have a 2-0 lead. Overtime was probably the last thought in their minds, but that's when the complacency starts to set in and Mystics' desperation to get another goal comes into play. And this is why they faltered it to this position. But now, both teams, they've got to keep their heads forward. They've got to get on the attack, and they've got to score the next goal. Maui, once again, trying to make work off that backboard. It was a shot that wasn't on target, but still required Journeyman to create some action to get it out of danger. But Mystics on the attack again. Avelios has to be fast in the air, unable to get it. And Sen now trying to get it past Hunter Sam. Stays disciplined on that back line. All 3 Mystics players now behind the ball, able to create some sort of a tank. It's not the strongest touch from Tank. Maui finds the bottom left. And that is a goal that shows experience.
Oh yeah, indeed. I mean, he solved that mistake by Tank to not get it out there, and then 2 players pre-jumping, one from the backboard and one on the ground, and then he's like, okay, sure, pre-jump that, I'll shoot it low. Left corner, Mystics win the first one with a pretty good last goal, I would argue.
And that was how you fight from behind. An absolute masterclass on the task at hand. All 3 players really stepped up. Maui and Avelios looking so strong in the air. Hunter Sam seemed to always be that, that glue, putting the team together, always in the right position at the right time, pulling off some of these passing plays, able to receive some of those passing plays. And, well, they ended up taking the lead. Journeyman leave a lot more to be shown into this second game. I think they were lucky at the beginning that Mystics weren't putting these clear-cut chances in. And, well, that was something they fixed. Something needs to change from the first seed.
Oh yeah, something definitely needs to change here. I mean, the first game was a little, the first game is always a little warm-up, I would argue. But yeah, that's basically their last excuse here to to blame it on something. But I think if they can just bounce back like they can, they've shown strength in the 3 goals that they made. But let's see if they can do it a second time in the same map.
Well, there's only one way to find out. We're in game number 2 now. And Mystics, they start off with the lead. Of course, this is a best of 5. You don't get a best of 7 until the grand finals. You don't get much luxury in warm-up time. You drop this game to Mystics now. They are on match point, and you'll be relying on a reverse sweep. Not the position that Journeyman want to be in. And already, it looks like that's something that could happen if they're going to play like this. 2 players just stuck in this front post. No one seemingly wanting this ball. Tank luring himself a bit too far into the front post, and it was too nice and easy. Just tuck it behind them and start off your match within the first 20 seconds. Nice and ahead.
Nice and ahead indeed here, and 30 seconds. And already a goal, good start from the Mystic side there. Let's see if they can continue it for now. No, they cannot. A goal that just bounces in from Axlos, and well, I think I know what the mistakes are, which mistakes or Mystics are making. The rotation is a little too slow, a little.
It was a little slow. It seemed like there wasn't much communication at all. I mean, the heavy touch from Avelios certainly wasn't the greatest, but they had 2 players behind them who should have been ready there to go for the shot, and seemingly neither of them were, and now their 1-0 lead, which was such an advantage early in the game, well, goes as quick as it appeared. And a miss from Maui here. Velios this time, ready to clean it. Sen jumps up way faster. Just gets the bat ball first. And Journeyman now starting to steal that bit of fear into Mystics, you'd hope. That's a good touch into the corner, trying to keep it safe. Playing quite dangerously across goal here, but makes decent work of it. But now, Mystics continue this attack there, struggling to get it out of their half, Journeyman. And there you go, Hunter Sam getting their lead again. I think they were doing well to keep it out of their net, but they couldn't keep it out of their half. Mystics regain the ball and regain their lead.
Regain their lead indeed, and they've gone in a good fashioned way now. A pretty good shot with 102 kilometers an hour, ends up in the top of the goal there. Very much power from a standpoint that I wouldn't have done a lot of power with, but Hunter Sam obviously did. And well, 1-2 now, and 3 minutes, enough time for both teams to score at least another goal, I would argue.
Oh yeah, definitely. In 3 minutes, and it's been quite high scoring so far. Maui coming off the ceiling here. Oh my word, it would have been an insane goal, and so would have that redirect attempt from Tank had they have got it off. And 2 players here at the near post having to challenge him. And I mean, Tank, I just find the name hilarious because it completely epitomizes how they play. These 50s, always so strong, requiring extra firepower from the Mystics defense, who are in a bit of an awkward state now. Tank should be scoring there, has to keep their ball low, unable to get it on net, and it's then on the reverse. Should be easily beaten by Hunter Sam, but manages to stay annoying, read the play, keep it in the half, and Journeyman, they need to get a goal here. They need to get themselves back. They're behind not only in this game, but already in series score. And the game score, it might be made even wider if Mystics could have created something there. All 3 players are behind. This should be an easy clean for Mystics. Zen waiting behind. Gets a good touch on the ball now. Has plenty of boost to make something happen. And there's been a demo. Plenty of pressure now on Mystics. Did they get the reset here? I don't think he did. And it's unrelenting now from Journeyman. Someone's up on the backboard. Velios ready there, though. Great defense, quelling what has been quite a scary attack at the moment.
Scary indeed, but that was almost close. But Maui got it out. Sen now gets it out of his own net. Until Sam tries to shoot, or Velios gets it to the sidewall. Now Axlos keeps it, tries to get it past one, but gets it to Velios, who passes it beautifully to Hunter Sam. And what a pass, and what a goal. The pass is even more beautiful than the goal, I would argue, but both are really beautiful.
Oh, I mean, it's so hard to call. It was great reading of the play, calls the ceiling pinch off, finds the player in the midfield, and Hunter Sam, it doesn't get much more top right corner. Tank knew it was going there. It was just simply too far for him. Perfectly placed, perfectly created, and they have been on form this series, and now they're looking to get themselves on match point.
Looking to get themselves on match point, and then the only hope that Journeyman have is a reverse sweep, but a little closer to that second game. Was closer there, that goal, but there's still 2 goals down, and come on now. 1 minute. I mean, it's not impossible, but maybe impossible for this shot to go in, but Tank gets the save. Now Hunter Sam gets it in the middle, but Sen gets it out. Now Maui can't take control of the ball here. Can't dunk Axlos though.
Whoa.
Gets it in the middle, and Tank misses the ball. That's huge, but no one there to finish it off, and Sen gets it out now.
And Mystics, overall, offensively, just seem to have this connection. They can constantly find each other. Their rotations are perfect. It's a lot different to how they defend. They're certainly a much stronger team offensively than they are defensively. So if you can keep the ball and make sure you are that side on the attack a majority of the time, completely in their favour. They really haven't made many mistakes, especially in game number 2.
Yeah, and 10 seconds, just the last second, 10 seconds come to an end. I think it's going to be game here. And now it's safe to say no, and now it's not gonna be a comeback. And game 2 is officially for Mystics, and that's gonna mean the only hope for Journeyman is a reverse sweep.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday, weren't we, Aaron? The
Oh yeah.
hardest thing to do in a Rocket League series is to get a reverse sweep. The second hardest is to close out a series, and that is the task on hand now for Mystics. They've just looked stronger and stronger as the series has gone on. You could even see the difference in game 1 as the game went on. In the first minute, they looked a bit disjointed, a bit disconnected. They were letting Journeyman have a little bit wasteful. They gave them that 2-0 lead and something snapped. They got the comeback. They ended up winning that game, and 2 has just been ever more convincing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean the game 2. Like that was it. Was first game was 3-4. That was really close, but the second game was just a little white and blue color there, because I would argue they were literally so dominant in the second game, and I didn't think Journeyman were even gonna stand a chance against Hunter Sam and his bagging shots and Evalios with his bagging passes.
And who is going to step up here for Journeyman? Because someone has to. I mean, like we said, you're relying on a reverse sweep, and nothing that they're showing right now screams that that is even a possibility. Mystics are getting stronger. Journeymen are just trundling along. You're hoping for players like Axelos just to get in there, cause some damage, and he's looking to very early into this game. Gets the first shot of the game, might get the second as well, unless Maui beats them to the ball. And Tank, I think, overall has been a solid player, but it's not been enough to get past us. Great save on this goal line, and a great follow-up for the 50. They've done so well there to make the most of what was a very awkward situation.
It was very awkward, but they got it out, and that's what's good about this Journeyman team. I mean, they can get those out, but if you can't get it,
Oh.
Caster Curse number 2 here. Axlos gets it in the back of the net here, and he gets the first goal of Journeyman. This is a start of many, maybe a reverse sweep.
And, well, we'd hope so. It'd certainly be a very entertaining, and Tank there was uncontested on the sidewall, and the backboard equally so, was able to just bang it off there. And Axelos, the player I called out, who I said, you know, is your player you want to step up and take this game in hand, manages to get that first goal. And when Mystics scored early in the last game, there was a quick response from Journeyman. They now find themselves on the other side of that. Will they be able to pull off the same thing and then do what Journeyman couldn't and take the entire game? Well, it's not looking promising right now, as Journeyman still remain in this half. I don't think we've seen much of the Mystic side so far.
Not much indeed, and that shows Journeyman is wanting this reverse sweep. Even though it might be far, it's still realistic here. But Velos gets a beautiful touch under Axlos. He couldn't get a shot on. Beautiful clear by him there, but Axlos saves it. Maui gets it. Too hard to Sam can shoot it, but not much power on that for Sen to save it.
And that was an incredible save from Sen, who's now created a form of attack. Tank has been patient on that backboard. Axelos ready for the follow-up. Maui does well at the near post, kind of bangs it a bit. Sen, not a lot of boost now to follow this up. Does well just to give his team time to regroup, get some boost for themselves now. Hunter Sam has been dangerous throughout the entire series. Tank having him out the way, and I feel like we're commonly finding Journeyman into these left corners, trying to find a way in field. Mystics now kind of wising up to it, doing well to now block a lot of these infield opportunities. But they're going to need more than promising defense for a side that I've said are stronger on the offense than they are in their own half. So going to have to see a little bit more, especially if they want to close this series out. Oh, and that was almost an own goal. That was almost me speaking the poor play into fruition. But Journeyman once again retaining the ball.
Now Sen gets it to the side while Evalios just get it out here, and Tank Exlos gets it to the sidewall. Now Maui pinches it with him to Evelios, who gets his shot off. Tries to go for the double, but misses the double. Maybe a fake to Maui, but Maui gets it on the backboard without any success. Hunter Sam gets it on the backboard, maybe with some success, but Sam gets it out.
And the backboard has been a weak point for Journeyman so far. We've seen Maui especially try to find some chances off here. Once again, it seems undefended. And they're just looking to try and exploit that. So if they can get to there, we know that, I mean, all three of these players really have the mechanics to make the most of it. Tank now, but really well to make the most of that play. Recovers himself in the air, keeps himself heavy and high to get that follow-up touch. And it's given some time for the demo teammate now to regroup a little bit. And it's happened again. Hunter Sam getting rid of the Journeyman players. Maybe a little change in tactics right now. Trying to create a bit of chaos so they can get their comeback, because there's not much time left on the clock. We're getting to that 1 minute mark, and Mystics have been completely behind unless they can get the goal here. It's perfectly played. Evelios and Maui go all in. It's a good 50. Perfect follow-up. Finds that empty backboard. And Maui again with the 50-50s. Pushes through into the back of the net. And we're back to an equal game. That 1 minute mark I was calling for. We finally hear the tone from the stadium. And now what was such a dominating game from Journeyman looks to be flipped on its head after a late goal from Maui. A bit of drama for this match. We mustn't forget the stakes, ladies and gentlemen. If Mystics win this game, they advance to the upper semi-finals. It will all be over. And Journeyman will have to fight quite a long path in the lower bracket at the end of the day. They don't want to settle for anything but being the champions. And see a very, very long road ahead. However, Journeyman doing well to keep the ball close. There's an option in the middle with Tank, who I think will go for the bump instead. And that is an incredible play in the dying seconds of the match. They respond. They refuse an overtime. And it's Axelos again who gets themselves on the score sheet. Journeyman 2, Mystics 1, and they're going to have to rely on a favourable kickoff to get this into overtime. They want to close it down here in game number 3, and there's actually a chance, especially if they're making a hash out of the backboard again. Hunter Sam on the back foot, unable to keep it up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's head straight to game number 4. What a match. Journeyman looking so much stronger than they have previously, and Mystics, well, they started to pick it up later into the game, but it was too little, too late. Journeyman tried to start this reverse sweep. Oh, my word. And hand on heart, it was a crazy performance. And my co-caster, we need to give them a second. They're having a few issues, not technically. They've been a bit ill recently, so it'll be just me for now on the solo cast. And what a game, ladies and gentlemen, that we have been able to watch. Mystics, they've come in. They're not the first seed. That title goes to Journeyman. They're the team that everyone expected to take this. The first seed of the Glacies division. This Ignis versus Glacies matchup proving to be extremely tighter. But Journeyman, if they have this upper hand now, if they can carry on this momentum, who's to say that they can't bring this back? They've just got to take it one game at a time. If they win this one, that's it. They are on match point. And all 6 players quickly heading into game number 4. And game number 4 is a match I've seen a lot of series end so far this week, albeit I've not casted rival. I've had a lot of the elite action. I must say, both tiers proving to be very very entertaining. And Evelios trying to continue that entertainment with a bit of a solo play off the wall, unable to get it. Hunter Sam was alone behind, does well to make the most of that play and even get a little ceiling pinch afterwards. Gives time for players to regroup, get into the defense, not concede early, because we've seen plenty of early concessions so far this series from both teams, in fact. So that's why you could even call it in the favor of another. And Tank has complete possession of this board here. Might go for the individual, sees that open backboard of Velios. Would have been hard for them to get there in time. Still doesn't manage to get that shot on net here, Journeyman, but they've had all the pressure so far. 1 minute has gone and it's been extremely quick so far. Velios keeping the ball close. That's nice, that's disciplined. Ends up getting bumped off. Tank now gets the ball forward, and will we see the Journeyman half at all in these first few minutes? And Tank was the player to bump off the scoreline, tried to force the ball through past the line this time, unable to do it. It was a great save, and he was required again in defense, managed to get himself back, does an incredible job. And Axelos now, well, just abandons the ball quick. Don't think they had the boost count to keep that attack going. It's been plenty of action here in the first minute and a half. Sadly, all in the favour of Journeyman, who are fighting to get that reverse sweep. That's a shot on net. Great recovery from Maui. Axelos has to keep it going, hits it off the ceiling. It's impossible to read for the Mystics defense. It is so hard to get those perfect when you're on the line. It's not often you have a shot coming up to down. It's typically the other way around, especially if you are a ones main, and I know some of these players have been practicing them. Journeyman get their lead. They continue their run, trying to get this reverse sweep. Mystics, a team that know how to respond, have to pull it out again. And I said the second hardest task was closing out a series, and unfortunately, Mystics are showing me exactly that. Journeyman have looked to be the favourites ever since they've got those 2 goals. And once again, Maui awkward on the wall here. Journeyman back onto this attack. Hunter Sam does well to get it out. Will they be able to keep possession just a bit longer? No, completely shut down by Tank. Axelos wants to redirect, lays it in perfectly, and that's an incredible assist. Oh, and I'm hearing news that my co-caster will be returning very soon, and oh my word, what a match he'll be in for. It's a great play between the players. Mystics were a team that I credited for how well they could find each other, how they had such a perfect connection, and Journeyman now taking a leaf out of their book and doing the same thing. And when we looked at the stats beforehand, we knew that Journeyman and Mystics were quite equal offensively. Mystics not as strong defensively, and it's something we're seeing here. They're inviting too much pressure from Journeyman. They've had a lot of opportunities for the first 3 minutes, and it doesn't seem to be a thing that has slowed down until that second goal went in. But is it too little, too late? I worry that it is. I as much as Mystics have shown me that they can come back from behind, this just looks different. Journeyman look like a different team, and Mystics haven't shown me anything that would prove otherwise. And it's Maui having to try and play it safely in the corner and keep it close now. Velios has to get that read. It's over the 2 offensive players, and the third man forced to stay behind, doesn't want to be lured in for the bait and have an immediate counter-attack on them. It's Mystics trying to be fast on the offense. No one, however, in field for that pass. It's getting a bit jittery here. Velios trying to go solo. I believe got the first flip reset. Couldn't make the most of it. Hunter Sam hits it high. Tank should be the first of that ball, and there's 2 Mystics player bunched up into that left-hand side. It's going to make it harder for them to allow the third man to push. It's just very disorganized right now. There's a bit of panic. There's 50 seconds left on the clock, and you can understand that that's something that starts to seep into your game, especially when the reverse sweep is getting risked. But it's a goal by Velios, and it's a bump on the goal line. And I think it was Hunter Sam getting revenge on Tank, who did it to him in the previous match. Now, with 43 seconds left to go, you would hope but there is a chance with Mystics. And I've been very doubtful of them, especially in this game 4. But all it takes is one more goal, one more opportunity, one more mistake, one more overcommit, one more organised offence, and you can take this to overtime. And it's a team now that's going to have to focus one goal at a time because, well, they can't look too far ahead. They clearly have a bit of stress trying to close down the series, especially if the opposing team are going to step up like this. Maui has to make the save. 10 seconds left to go. We're back down to 5. They have to keep this ball up. It's in their own half. It's quite a tall task ahead of him. Hunter Sam does well to play for the fake. Avelios now, not much boost. Still manages to leave the ball for Maui to get it forward. Hunter Sam trying to make most of that 100 boost. Saw an option in the mid, but it's not enough. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head straight to Champions Field. First series of the B stream. First series of the rival playoffs. And oh my word, hasn't it delivered?
I mean, I'm back now. It has definitely
Welcome back.
delivered from what I've heard. I mean, I'm seeing a game 5 now, so at least one of us is getting something right today. I had a little problems on my end, but I'm back now. Sorry that you had to solo cast a little, but I'm back now, and yeah, Champions Field is what I come back to. Is nice. It's nice to come back to that.
And Mystics giving you some time to watch the final nail in the coffin this series. And honestly, Aaron, I could not predict what way this will go. It's either a reverse sweep or a reverse sweep denial. Mystics looked a bit stronger in the final minute of that game. The first, I'd say, like 3.5, they were showing nothing. I mean, it was all journeyman, attack, 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 and it's something we weren't very used to seeing previously. Mystics did look a hell of a lot stronger, but hopefully now we can see the strongest versions of both teams for one final fight. Champions Field, well, I don't believe we actually are on Champions Field, but mentally for both teams it is Champions Field. It is game number 5. Who will stay in the upper bracket?
Who will stay in there? Indeed, I mean, it's the last chance to get it, and both teams only have 1 life left now. So let's see if they'll use it to their advantage here. But game 5 is always hard. It's always the hardest game, especially when you're on stream, of course. So let's see how both teams respond to that pressure here. But the first attack now here is for Journeyman, who are looking to win 3 games in a row.
Of course, it would be quite an impressive feat, especially with quality of opponents. Mystics, they aren't a team you can just shrug off. They've been doing excellently the entire season, and they've been doing even better, I would go as far to say, throughout the playoffs and this play-in series, albeit the last 2 games not being their best piece of work. Hunter Sam fakes out the first man, tried to go on an individual play here. 1 minute, we haven't seen an early goal unless the caster's curse is going to hit again. Good save from Tank. Maui keeps it alive into the opposing side. Axelos doesn't get the greatest clearance, gets a good follow-up bump though. That's exactly what you want to see from these players. They've got to make the most of every opportunity. They have to have a B plan.
Let's have a B plan indeed here, but Avelios gets a shot now, and Axlos gets the save there. Hunter Sam now with a 50 with Sen. Axlos now goes up, tries to get the shot there. Tank tries to get the redirect, doesn't get it, but Axlos is there to finish the goal. It's 1-0 for the Journeyman side here.
And alarm bells starting to ring now for Mystics. Their biggest nightmare is starting to come true. First series of the day, and the reverse sweep as it stands. And a reverse sweep is as it stands. I mean, our Journeymen are ahead. Mystics now have to fight from behind, just like they did all the way back in game 1. A nice little cyclical narrative. But to complete that, they'll have to create this comeback, and Maui's done a good job to create some action offensively. Hunter Sam, a good 50, and you've just got to be putting that away, Avelios. It's a good save from Sen. They kept their composure, but the same could be said about the offending team.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Both teams are absolutely on fire. This game 5 is set loose like two phoenixes fighting against each other, all fire here. But Excelsior gets the save. Hunter Sam now gets it to the sidewalls. Looking, hey, Hunter Sam.
Wow, wow, wow.
That's a break of a rule
That's
one.
poor. That's poor. That is poor. We have seen a Rule 1 break in the first series of the stream, and I guess, well, we're seeing that frustration starting to settle in. They're taking absolutely no chances. They signed up for RSC 3v3. We don't do 2v2 here in the EU. And Sen tries to get a little bit revenge for that blasphemy that we have just seen. But Mystics, they're not going to let go of this pressure. And actually, that touch was pretty poor. But if anything, they created the offense for the other team. And Journeyman, they get quite an easy attack here. It was not a great touch from Maui. Sen, all he has to do is charge forward and get it on net. It was quite hard for Avelios on the back foot. Not much speed, not much momentum. Didn't expect to have to be on the defense in that position. Thought they would be able to push up on third if Maui didn't get that tough touch. And now 2 minutes left to go and 2 goals required from Mystics.
Yeah, and the break of a rule one ends with
Oh,
what you
no.
deserve. An
Oh,
absolute
no.
demolishing of a game here. The reverse sweep is on. The reverse sweep is on for 3 goals now. And come on now, they're not gonna come back in 2 minutes. Hunter Sam has totally screwed this team over with breaking that rule one. You can call it placebo. I think not. He broke the rules and he should get paid for it.
Well, it's 1 minute 45 seconds left. If you're on the Mystic side, you say give it your all. If you're on Journeyman, you say the match isn't finished yet. Because this Mystic side can come back in the blink of an eye. Avelios, once again, an impressive play on the left wall. Finding a player in field, it's Hunter Sam who slots it away. I was about to talk about how this final 2 minutes will be a victory lap for Journeyman. Mystics shut me up before I could even get a chance. Two goals required, 1 minute 30 left. They couldn't, could they?
Maybe that's a little closer, but I don't think they can here. I mean, come on now, it's 1 minute 10. But Hunter Sam, Avelios, and Maui are 3 really strong players who can pull things off, but if no one goes up for such a ball...
What's going on? It's just complete discoordination in the 6-yard box. The Journeyman players unable to just get it out. Just play some no-nonsense Rocket League. Get rid of it. 1 minute left. You are ahead. All Mystics players are pushed forward. You put it behind them. You buy yourself some time. It was stressful, but they couldn't get on the end of it here, Mystics, and they've given Journeyman another chance. Maui having to just fly towards the ball once, twice, here we go again. Avelios now trying to build it out for defense. It's looking awkward here for Maui. It should be easy here for a Journeyman player, but that's game management. No one wants to commit too high. They know that their best offense is going to actually be defense for once. You're going to spin that play on the back of its head. Oh my word, the reverse sweep is on the cards, and there's 15 seconds until we could say that it's complete.
Reverse sweep complete in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's over.
And it's over.
Oh my word.
It's complete.
And that is your first seed team from the Glacies division, showing why they are the best. It doesn't matter the situation, they can fight back from behind. What a performance, what a series, what entertainment. I love RSC.
Oh, I mean, you can speak about how much you love RSC, but I love RSC as well here. I mean, come on, the reverse sweep in the seed one here, and then the team that was on match points is reverse swept and completely sent to the abyss in the lower brackets, and their run has gotten 3 times as harder.
Incredible, just incredible. That's the only word I can use to describe that. We saw mechanics trying to be brought out. We saw so much going on, but At the end of the day, one team was able to go
Um,
over the line. Mystics got themselves into a great
uh,
position, unable to finish it. Oh, I don't know what's happened to you here, but a little bit of excitement. But look, the next match we've got going on will be Nightfall versus Mirage. We're going to be leaving the upper bracket for the rest of the B stream. It'll be only one life remaining now. We'll be able to see Mirage, who performed on the A stream, if they did manage to get it up. I'm sure they did. Mirage were a side that got swept by Onka, who will now face the Journeyman side we just watched on the A stream in give or take an hour and a bit. Now, Aaron, before you have to go and clean yourself up, is there anything you want to say to the stream before we cast Nightfall versus Mirage?
well, I'm not sure what to say. I can't get an explanation for what just happened to me. It came out of this thing. It was a stress ball that's exploded on me. But yeah, I guess my last words are going to be stick around for the next one, and it's going to be an exciting one, just as this one. And we'll see you guys in approximately 10 minutes.
Oh boy, got so hot I forgot what I should have thought of before. Sure ain't easy for you to let go of the rules, cause that's so much fun. Are you loving the feeling? It touch me, are you in it? Don't say what you're saying, but typical. Messing around with it, mix it up, go with it, fuck with it, flow with it, please let it go. Oh no, think I did it again. I said a few things that I shouldn't have done. Well, bittersweet melody when I dance on your fly, cause I know what you forever. All this ever about you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, I disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. And you know, man, to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing the weight of you, of my shoulder. So done with my cigarette. And when
ladies and wait, intro? No, we're on. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Sorry, a bit frazzled here. We've had, a bit of a shake-up behind the scenes. So you see a new lovely face right next to me. Aaron has been replaced with the wonderful Danny Boy.
Well, I'm trying to work out here where the professionalism on that introduction there for a second, Pegasus, but it is always a treat to be alongside you. What has happened behind the scenes, we hope, of course, Aaron is doing quite okay and hope for a full recovery. But what is, however, required here is the lower quarter final, as we are at this point in time with Nightfall versus Mirage. There is no recovery, as from the upper bracket. I believe Frost herself said you just have to deal with it. I won't actually use her particular words because even I wouldn't say what she said on broadcast. But while we do move towards the bracket, Pegasus here, finally in playoffs for Rival, and you can see that there's a few particular teams doing a potential run, we'll say.
Well, of course, we've unfortunately already had one team get swept today. Mirage had to face, I would say, favourites Onka in the upper bracket on the A stream. It was an unfortunate sweep which has brought them down to this point, but Nightfall, they've really had to battle to get themselves to this place. In upper round 1, they ended up losing to Mystics and have started now this lower bracket grind where they've managed to beat out Ash, and now they face what you would consider harder opponents, Mirage. So, Danny, of course, your picked prediction, let's say. Who are you going for between these two teams?
Well, I'll just be absolutely lazy in the sense that D-Lynch has predicted mine, so whatever the particular graphic has been put up, it is that team to show you how much I care about predictions. And for the logic of, no, they swept, beat that, yada, 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 I don't care about predictions because ultimately, unless you know the tier very well, you can't sit there and honestly give you an inside knowledge here. If you ask me about the Elite, I can give you a more accurate opinion. Other than that, who cares? It's time for the gameplay. But, Pegasus, what about yours?
Well, I'm sure we'll save all your predictions for tomorrow then, Danny Boy.
I'm not on Elite.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I guess you'll just have to predict at home. But I will be throwing my predictions in. I'm going to agree with D-Lynch and not Danny Boy, who was not given a prediction, of course. I'm going to go 3-1 for Nightfall. And here we go, straight into the first game now. And it's stayed here in the midfield. Mifrel trying to break something early on. It's a very heavy touch here, going straight to Kendo. We find ourselves in the Nightfall half. Some early offense coming out of Kendo, trying to create a bit of chaos on the goal line, going for those bumps, trying to add a little bit of those physicalities early into the match. It's quite important to let the other team know you're there.
No.
No?
I prefer no box of chocolates and flowers. It's much more no romantic evening, though. The bumping doesn't do anything.
So you're trying to charm the opposing team in giving you this win, and seems like they are here. It's a completely open net, but Mifrel, unable to put it away, goes for the only area of the goal that actually had a defender.
I didn't know that Pegasus had more sass than myself tonight. Here he is bringing everything in terms of that one, but Bishop not able to bring himself towards the ball. It has somewhat stuttered across here, and you know what? Bit of somewhat information, it might be useful for anybody to know. Playing within 6 months, decent player, probably in the right tier, but has that moments of flashes of brilliance where you can maybe see him in the elite. It's the other two, however, that's where the question marks are going to lie.
I've casted this Mirage team before. They're a very strong roster, of course. Both these teams being second place in their respective conferences. Not that any of that matters anymore. Nothing matters when you are in the lower bracket other than the result at the top of the screen. And Mifrau looking to try and put it in his favour. It's a demo on the goal line from the GM, making it nice and easy for his team to get ahead.
And it just took one demo to move into that particular position as well. The bounce was ideal, but 2 minutes gone by. That's the opening goal. In terms of all the tiers that we've seen so far, in terms of at least my opening matches on casting-wise duties, this has been the best one so far.
And let's hope that it can continue to deliver. Mifrel Trying to do an individual play off the wall for that 50, but Mirage did well to keep it here in the corner, and now I'm sure we'll see Mirage try to add some forward pressure here. No one on the ball. Mithral now having to battle Patroid in the midfield. This shows quite far ahead of the ball here, manages to wrap himself around it, and it's Kendo pulling up well. Once again, looking for those bumps, looking for the ball. Anything in sight they'll go for. It's a good save by Mithral, keeping it close. No booster flow up, however. And Bisho, the player you said you had experience with in 6-mans, unable to get a touch of that ball.
Yeah, it's almost like anybody I play with always goes bad.
Well, you just seem to boost everyone when they're playing with you, when they're not. Not the best performance, but Bisho, I'm hoping we can see a step up. I've seen them do extremely well before, and it's Kendo trying to play that back pass. Bisho again. Trying to find Kendo with the 100 boost. Just calls him off it, actually. Wants the possession for himself. Ends up giving it away to efficiency. It's a good save for Patroid. But they're really struggling to get it out their half right now. And they've had every opportunity to do so.
Eventually it has went backwards. Mind you, thrown into the opposite direction just as equally as it came from his Mithril. Well, one touch Bisho, who is almost playing too fast for his own good at the moment here.
Oh.
And once again, the GM himself grabbing the second goal here. And I'm going to be bold enough to say it here. If Mirage plays like this continuous Pegasus, it's a sweep.
And not only that, Danny boy, it'll be 2 sweeps in a 1 day, coming from that upper bracket to getting knocked out immediately. It would be an absolutely brutal way for the day to go. So look, they're immediately trying to fight back. Once again, a great save from Mithral. And Kendo trying to find a player in field that simply wasn't there. Patroid having to turn around late to get a touch on the ball, keeping it in the middle. Bisho lurking at this near post, manages to get quite a strong 50. Doesn't have enough boost to follow this up, but luckily Patroid able to call them off. And the ball staying in this corner for quite some time. They've looked for those infield passes, but Nightfall have done well to keep it in safety.
Nice touch there by the Mister himself here, but not a gentleman-like performance on the terms of the bump and requiring, trying to get as much space as he can, and that's a... Well, if you thought that was going in, you need new glasses. Let's just put it that way. The last 40-odd seconds has been pretty much here, which is going to be, for a lack of a better term, sort of like heavy metal. The ball's going to be thrown around, and nobody's going to have any control.
Well, my glasses are currently the wrong prescription, but I can see clearly that this match has completely been in the favour of Nightfall. Their opportunities, they've been stronger, they've done better on the ball, and even when Mirage are in possession, they haven't been able to create. Looking to prove me wrong here with another attempt at something in field, but Mithral has completely commanded that back line throughout the entire game, and as 5 seconds are now remaining on the clock, he's completely done his job. Nightfall go ahead, led by the skipper, Mr. Efficiency, getting the demo, allows the teammate an open shot, and getting himself a goal of his own.
Very little actually to add in terms of that, because to sit here and to provide any form of a compliment to Mirage would actually be a disservice in terms of the match itself here. Statistically, nothing to write home about, nothing to talk about. Actually, across the board, it's probably not worthwhile. But again, numbers mean a certain percentage. What we witnessed, however, what was 1, maybe 2 shot at a fair distance here, Pegasus, that actually didn't threaten the keeper. So Mirage is just simply illusionary, has to do better.
And yeah, I can't help but agree. There was not really anything of promise shown that entire game. They have to come out a completely different team in this second one. Otherwise, I think it's going to be another sweep on the cards today. But Nightfall, I do want to give at least one player some credit. I think Mithral overall has been very strong, commanding the defense and the offense. Had 3 shots of today, managed to get a goal, albeit an open one created by Mr. Efficiency. But 4 saves to go alongside that, and a good efforts, I would say, in the midfield overall. It's been one of the only players I could say seemingly awake this series.
I don't think anybody's going to sit there and disagree with that. And suggest to say awake. I actually would say a bit unfair on Nightfall in that comment. The fact that I'm disagreeing with you, Pegasus, and providing a further compliment just shows you maybe you might be a bit harsh here. The fact that I'm saying it, do you know what? Fair enough here. If anybody has any complaints, send them the Pegasus this time.
A little bit of a change of pace for you, isn't it, here? But I want to be a bit more impressed. Nightfall. So far, I think I've done very well, of course, to go on this lower bracket run to even get to this point. Had an unfortunate run in the play-ins and now facing a tough team again on paper. Yeah, haven't shown too much, but I think there are upper levels to be shown from both teams. Another demo here from Mithral onto Bicho. Mr. Efficiency not getting the best touch on the ball, is called off by his teammate, looking to get that double tap, play it into the center, unable to find it. That's not going to be on target. And it's Mithral again doing so well to keep control of this ball. And again with a strong 50, and again with the demo. Is there anything he can't do?
Gore.
Ooh. Well, managed it in the previous game alongside 4 saves, and it's a performance we're hoping to see again, as the rival tier would promise. He was putting the ball, I think, a bit too wide, made the job quite hard for himself. It's been relatively neck and neck so far. It's been a 0-0 scoreline as opposed to the previous one, where we saw some goals at least from this point by a Nightfall. Mr. Efficiency being the creator of that opening goal in game number 1, unable to recreate it so far.
Well, similarities at the opening game. I believe it was about 2 minutes before we actually saw the true crumbling of the eventual winners here, or what Nightfall was able to produce here. There's a demo and a kendo misfire here. That won't be going in anytime soon. What, did you think that one was going in there?
I didn't see Mr. Efficiency tucked away inside his net, waiting at that near post. Actually perfectly positioned, but just had that awkward camera angle.
I think you might need that glasses re-changed there.
Definitely. At least I don't have to play anymore. I already did that and lost my place in the grand finals. These are 2 teams trying to
nobody
fight
cares about your grand final position when I lost in round number 2 in the elites.
but look, they're trying to make it to that point. They're here in the lower bracket, trying to go for a run. This is all they're trying to earn, and Mr. Efficiency looking to make that happen.
Runs are there for the ones who believe, and Mr. Efficiency certainly does so. And unfortunately, Illusionary themselves, an organisation who was littered with success, unfortunately struggling with a roster right now. And they're going to find themselves maybe just wondering where things went wrong here, especially with a potential double 3-0 result going against them. Could be night-night, but I think at this time the Nightfall has already went.
And Kendo trying to get the first goal of the series for them, but once again it's that player, Mithral, on the goal line, able to keep it out of danger. And I think they're doing such a good job at not only grabbing the ball, but transitioning it into an immediate offense. They keep the ball fairly close, go for these sweeping plays, and it leaves Mirage with these very short burning offensive opportunities where it just feels like one shot and it dies.
Yeah.
I was complimenting how they take it out of defense. Mr. Efficiency almost putting it on a plate for Mirage. It was well recovered from the other 2 players behind them. And I think it's getting similar to the last game, where we just need to see that little bit more for Mirage. They don't look quite connected right now. Hopefully a caster's curse coming in here. Not this time. Mr. Efficiency, I think, very strong these first 2 games.
I don't disagree in terms of the performance he's been putting on here. And the last speech that I was going across there, Kendo with a goal scoring opportunity to change what not only the complexion of the game, the series itself. You just there look at it and you sort of go, what do I need to do? As he made one mistake here, the second one gets covered up here. So the last sort of 30 odd seconds, a bit of change of course, as that's ball into the corner here, pops fairly substantially down here. And it's these sort of half sort of decisions, that sort of stutters, or do I go, do I not go? That's what's costing here Mirage in the long run.
Oh, and that's a good bump on the goal line. I think it was Kendo who was hunting them in game number 1. Finally has it lead to a goal in number 2, abandons that ball, goes for Mithral, that defender that has been so pesky so far this series. They can't beat him get rid of him. And finally, Mirage get their first goal of the series. Hopefully, a sign of more things to come.
Pegasus must be challenging his inner Jorby there. All what was missing is delete them being screamed down the particular microphone. But unfortunately, or thankfully, depending on who and what way you look at it, there is no deletion here. There is, however, a temporal understanding here. Another ball being tucked into the corner. Should be, of course, reached in the OT. This tier here, the special, hasn't been shown any time here, but the source himself, broadcasting over the A channel as well too, will cover that in a moment, but we're in OT.
And an early opportunity here, shut down actually I think from his own demo. The recoil, very hard to control here. Mithral again, clearing it out of net. That's a good touch from Rev, who should be trying to reach this ball. Patroid though, does a great job. Doesn't hesitate, as you were criticising them for earlier. And Mirage finally push that little bit more. Are they a changed team? Can they get their first win of the series and shut down this Nightfall side? Well, we're 30 seconds in overtime and still waiting for that answer.
Nice clearance, at least in terms of getting to the corner and holding it. Second follow through, that's ideal here. And Kendo, again, that's rushing the play here. That half a second just somewhat taking the game out and controlling it and having a fire pace would do you actually a world of good here. This gets forced into the back wall here. And frankly, Nightfall's doing exactly what they have to do. They've compiled the pressure, they've moved it, they've shifted. This ball should literally just be banged straight down as hard as you can here. It has options upfield, and exactly like that, if the shot had a bit more venom behind it, we could have potentially seen a more dangerous follow-up.
Oh, and that was dangerous. That touch from Patroid there. Luckily, the 50-50 was strong here from Bisho, who reached the ball again. Patroid having to clean up for a teammate again. It feels like these awkward hits are having to be cleaned up by a teammate. It's good that they can manage to do that, but you need to be able to push into the other half with 50s like that. That's very strong. Kendo trying to take it off the corner. No one's there in the midfield. Patroid waiting for that heavy touch. Does well here. Kendo completely turns himself around. There was a teammate behind him who I think wanted a ball. Calls him off well. I think might go for the bump again. Try to repeat the play that got them their first goal. And oh no, Mr. Efficiency wants to get revenge. Tries to find Kendo. Kendo dodges the bump. Gets the save. And it's been pretty action-packed here in this last minute.
Nearly, of course, that one or two passes away from actually killing off the second game entirely. That's a fabulous shot. Saved and tipped away here, but it's not over. Second phase, and that is gorgeous.
Really well worked. Good power behind the ball from Mithral. Forces out a heavy touch. Does well to touch it ever so lightly the second time. A complete mix-up. Rev was ready at the near post. Saw it far, sent it long. And that is how you complete an overtime. Nightfall looking for that sweep.
We're actually going to be very complimentary tonight. So obviously, something very odd tonight, Pegasus, as he wipes his forehead in disbelief. That actually might have been single-handedly the best give and go in terms of a passing shot I've seen all playoffs, and it's happened in Rival. So, Elites, tomorrow, come on, you're being outdone here.
Yeah, that was incredible. It was a great performance once again from Nightfall. All three of these players just look so connected. Rev, Mithral, Mr. Efficiency, for a team that must have a lot of games, a lot of hours, a lot of scrims together, and it is coming to play here in the lower, I believe it is the lower quarterfinals of playoffs, but there's still much more Rocket League to be played. I watched a reverse sweep in the upper bracket. Will we see the same in the lowers?
Well, we'll certainly find out. And just to provide an update, I was going to say at one point here, Mystical has tied up the series 1-1 over at the A stream against the Knights. They had a 3-0 lead. Knights have brought it back 3-3. It has gone into OT. So a potential tying up the series or match point as we find yourselves in that very point here as you've been pointing out, Pegasus. It could be, of course, the sweep here too.
And we are back here. The reverse sweep, obviously, like you mentioned, on the cards for Mirage, but they need to focus one game at a time now, one play at a time, and Kendo here trying to open up the scoring. I think getting this first goal is going to be so important, and Nightfall not allowed to fall complacent. They've got the GM on their team. You would hope that Shadow Esports have appointed a good leader to keep them in, but it's not the best start to game number 3. Mirage get their first goal. Efficiency completely beaten on that 50-50.
Might be good administrative-wise as the match itself. He's had 2 fabulous games. You've pointed out that he's been the player to arguably to look out for it here. That's the first mistake in 3 games. It's not too bad, especially in the stakes of this type of matchup here. As Kendo, who has been unfortunately littered by a few of them, forced into another 50 here. Up it goes, and Bisho gets away with that one. It's a decent pass back into middle, and Bisho. Oh, come on.
And he was such a good option, and the only person he has to blame there is himself. He was easily going to beat the defense despite the boost amount of... No, and it continues. Bisho with a shot on net. Finally was there in field, and Patroid does the defensive work for Nightfall. Oh, that one has got to hurt. And they're a team that are fighting for the reverse. Luckily, they had that first goal, because if they didn't, that could have been a real hit to the mental.
It already is. I'm sorry, but when you're trailing by 2, every goal like that, unfortunately, will hurt even more. It doesn't matter what leading or not here, as Kendo can only move that one downfield here, and the rest here, they know they should be trailing by 2. They actually will be feeling the better of the 2 sides. Strangely enough, how this game sometimes go, because they've outscored them 4-1 so far here, as that one's up and over here, and Bisho can only tip this one around here. It should be a bang downfield, but Kendo can't get a touch. Neither can the keeper convincingly getting that one away.
And Patroid keeps the attack going, gets it all the way to the right. Bisho getting bumped here by Mr. Efficiency, calls for Kendo to come forward, and again, this ball just ending up back into the corner. It was in such a dangerous position. They've gotten it out themselves. Luckily though, they can say they've got the lead, and I don't think I've actually seen much from Nightfall this entire game, so this could be their first opportunity to create something, and it starts with a 50-50 between Rev and Bisho, and a shot from Mithral again. Doesn't challenge Patroy too much, who does well to get the 50, and tries to bring it up the pitch. Rev scored in the previous game in OT, tries to keep the ball going now. It's another opportunity at the near post, and Efficiency cleans that play up.
That's what I said. This side doesn't need to actually fear what was going on, because they know they have it in their grasp, their control. And frankly, everything that Mirage has been putting on display after 12, 13 minutes has been nothing of the standard that you would hope to be pushing on here at the lower quarter-final stage. And that's a bump. That's goal number 2-1. And I'm going to say it, that's GG's.
He's done it again. Mithral does so well to keep the ball closer. Mr. Efficiency has an eye on Bisho, opens up the net once more. They were 1-0 behind, and within seconds, they find themselves ahead and looking to complete the sweep.
He's had eyes on him. We talked about flowers and chocolates. It sounds like thorns at this point, Pegasus.
Oh, of course, maybe a spiky rose placed into the hand of the Mirage defenders. And Bisho here getting some revenge with a demo of their own Rev as well, to wrap himself around the ball and actually keep it in some sort of control. Give some time for the Nightfall defense to do something here, but Bisho takes them off the wall. Rev again having to do some cleanup action. Patroid does well on the 50, but another demo from Rev, and it's starting to get a little bit physical here, Danny.
I didn't realize we were going to break into song here.
We could do.
Do you have your armbands ready?
I don't know, how good are you at karaoke?
Well, let's just put it this way. I've been told to stop many times.
Well, I've heard the same about my casting, but 1 minute left in this series. Patroid creates something in the midfield, and Kendo puts this game back to equality. You said it was GG's, but Nightfall forced to make one more play.
Oh, we've been debating on which of the two casters should be told to stop more, but some of us should just let it go. It is, of course, now under the minute here as there is potential chance here for the start of a reverse sweep. Maybe, perhaps, I think it'd be foolish here as Bishop just runs into it, back pass it goes here, forced into the 50, right-hand side, and Kendo consistently cannot aerial, and that has been unfortunately the downfall of Mirage here, back into the middle, and the GM, the captain so to speak, he hasn't got the connection either here, so this is going to be a nervy 30 seconds at that too.
And B-Show's in the infield, doesn't go for the corner boost this time, has to beat two defenders, both went up, and a little bit of ping pong here in the corner, ends up in the favour of Nightfall here. I think can collect possession if they just rush at the ball. Kendo completely misread this corner, and it could be the play that sends them to overtime unless efficiency can get a shot off here. Instead goes for the infield. Rev is there, demoed him off the play, and that demo I think was the one that keeps them alive.
I think the pass was originally meant for the second man, ends up to the third. It was near enough avitational here. Infield pass gets cut out here. And I believe just for the A stream, the Knights leading 3-1 for a potential 3-0 sweep. They're about half a game still left here, while Mirage is holding on for dear life. Desperation calls for desperate times here, and Bisho was just showing an element of that there as Kendo hesitates here and allows the door to be open.
Ooh.
It very much is open here, and Revs has his shot, and the man who have been calling out all night long with 2 consecutive saves, unlike Manchester United, Kendo actually steps up for a change.
Incredible! It's great defense from Mirage, and if they take this game, that's the moment you'll be looking at. But the match isn't over yet. They still have to put one in the opposing side, and Rev trying to make that close to impossible. Doesn't have the boost here to follow up, and it's Kendo again trying to step up in this overtime. But it's this constant pressure from Nightfall that makes you think surely they can push one more over the line. And it's back again to Nightfall. Mirage has to do more in the defense. They need to keep on this, well, incredible showing so far, but the only reason they got to that point is the amount of pressure they are inviting.
Kendo, Revs, 1-2 play, and in the corner now, the efficiency himself gets it away here. Should be a free shot on target, and has been leathered into the same plane of pressure itself, so it's a free defensive clear, maybe a counter attack, but Kendo's cut that one out respectively so here, and Revs, who had a chance earlier, ruse perhaps that one to Missile with one touch. That's been gone high up here, and efficiency's bottled it. Back it goes to Revs here, tip to the side, and you talk about pressure earlier. Well, frankly, we're seeing the game, well, dangerously go into the territory where neither side wants.
Yeah, it's getting very scary. It's getting a bit scrappy, as it does here when you're on. East go for the shot, and he's going to be forced back into a 50 against Kendo, is wiped off the pitch, and we've seen Demo plays a lead to goals. Not this time. Mr. Efficiency once again taken off the ball. Patroid has an opportunity, doesn't get the connection he wants, and it's just Demo after Demo. It keeps on going. Mirage finally having some time in the Nightfall half. Patroid trying to put it in danger. Mithral. Kendo does well to get it back to Bisho. This is your man. Your teammate in 6-mans does well individually to get past one. Forces it off the backboard. Is anyone up for this? It's Mithral again beating the opposing attacker. And oh my word, this overtime has been full of excitement.
And just while it's been going on, it's 5-2. 2-0, of course, favoured the Knights here. There's still survival on both the primary channel itself. Here on the alternative, still 2-0. We have not changed the scenario. We've basically played 8 minutes, and we have not seen anything more than 4 goals. We haven't seen a goal in about, well, shall we say, 4 minutes worth again, as Bisho there runs it to the side, into the corner, to corner at this point, but not in the right direction, not to the left of the corner of the top right of their screen, respectively. So was Kendo up, so was Mythil, and efficiency too high for him. And there is defensive duties here, and everybody is actually going for the wrong play or the wrong ball here. And Reds with the shot here, and it is another save off the line here. Illusionary has 3 consecutive sets of saves here in the 3rd game. They should have been knocked out, they should have been gone, but they should have also won it out earlier.
And they get away with it again. It's great defense. It was a bit of a disorganized offense, I would say, from Nightfall, despite them finally getting that one chance. But there was opportunities for more. There was opportunities they could have made it even harder, even for this strong Mirage side defensively. But Mithral, Bisho is already up, beating him to the ball. Efficiency, trying to get back in, going for those follow-up demos, as we've seen. But I think this, the physicality has all been in the favor of Mirage so far. They've been getting demos, not with much success, I would have to say, in this overtime, but at least they're slowing them down just that little bit.
Another save. No shot there coming on through here. A bit of space has been given, so the pace is naturally diluted down here. 5 minutes has been played, 5 additional since then. Another pass into the middle has been cut out here. Nightfall, the Mirage still dancing here on the floor here, but we have yet to see the choir. They actually see the full vocals in an defensive save required. It's a bit scrappy, as you said. It's going to be activating, and that shot accuracy absolutely water-like at this moment in time here. It needs to be with more substantial behind it here as we have a second crack at it. Bisho, they get a block. Not happening, and it is a perfect idea. It is a sweep, but not 2.
And he got his second chance, maybe his 3rd, his 4th, his 5th. Mirage have been so good defensively in this overtime, but it was about time when Nightfall took advantage of this high amount of pressure that they had. Mr. Efficiency, by name, gets this series finished with a sweep, and it's Rev who you can credit here in overtime to put the final nail in.
There's very little to sit there and say where and what it came from, but what is, at least in terms of what can be stated, is that Nightfall single-handedly was the better team tonight in that series. They have been consistently better. Mirage, unfortunately, had to play a side that is that strong. One player pops off, and generally speaking, when you have a player over 500 points a game, usually able to dictate it quite well enough. Nightfall might be Sunrise. That's how well they've been playing.
And it was very strong for them throughout all 3 of the games. And Mirage, they did certainly look their strongest in that final one. And, you start to think if they performed like that throughout the entire series, maybe the match wouldn't have finished so early. So fair play to them. Unfortunately, this is the end of their tournament. This is the lower bracket. We have to say goodbye to Mirage, who have had a bit of a devastating day, it's fair to say. But Nightfall, this is your team to watch now. They go into the lower semis and they face Knights, who also come off the back of a sweep.
Certainly, and that is the state of it. Journeyman and Alka, mind you, being the main match on the upper side of it. That's being, of course, the main channel as well, too. But that, however, does mean require a break, a change of personnel, and, of course, 6 new players who is trying to continue their run of the rival tier itself. Until then, we'll see you after this short break.
his fears are coming outside. We got a billion races, we got his melody, and you can trust me, baby, we got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe. And when you need to cry, I'll be by your side. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. And when you need to escape from 1,000 fires, I'm gonna kiss you wherever you are. And I'm gonna miss you, I will never lie. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. We're running in the jungle of love. Jungle of love. Listen to my conditions, I got you on my mind. You were stuck in my head and I don't know why. We got a billion races, we got this melody, and you can trust me, baby, we got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe. And when you need to cry, I'll be by your side. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. And when you need to escape from 1,000 fires, I'm gonna kiss you wherever you are. And I'm gonna miss you, I will never lie. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. We're running in the jungle of love. Jungle of love. What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face. I stared and wait because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Fallen one too many times, feeling like it never ends. Back again, square one. Tried to leave myself behind, looking for a better place, not to stay alone. Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth but you only fake it. Thought you said what we had was sacred. It's all lies, all lies. I was broken and isolated, but inside held the fire waiting. Not a word that you say can save us, so don't try, 'cause this time you crossed the line. This time you crossed the line. drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and it away. I ain't f***ing okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. See the sun coming out of that rain. My team really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. Slave for you. Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a god mess. Whole place, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down, trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest. I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. See the sun coming out of that rain. My team really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RSC EU Rival Playoffs. We're back on the B stream in the lower bracket. It is the final chance for both of these teams, and you cannot afford to slip. Once again, we've had a bit of a substitution in the casting booth. Say goodbye to Danny Boy and say hello to the lovely Dragon.
I'm here. I came from the A stream. I watched the Knights in their previous game. Let's go straight to the playoff bracket, because let's be honest, Pig, we've had two magnificent stories for both these teams. The storylines are slowly being weaved together, and it's been fantastic throughout. The last team standing from play-ins, the Knights, they're on an absolute tear in this lower bracket. They had a tough time from Hydras in their first game of the night. They managed to breeze past Mystics. They're ramping up. They're getting more exciting. And they're here against the Nightfall.
And it's a shame because Nightfall, the team I casted previously, also have such a good story. Like you mentioned, they got knocked out immediately of the upper bracket in that little, that playoff match, which we don't like to call it play-ins. It's more like a little bit of a qualification for two teams that know they're already making it to playoffs. But they had to beat Ash with a 3-1 win, and then, as previously seen on the B stream, they dominated Mirage with a sweep. So two teams coming off a sweep. They don't know what it is like to lose today, but someone has to fall, and it's quite a shame because the result of this match ultimately is going to be a tragedy.
Yep, it's going to be the last time that one of them appear on the stream today. Nightfall, their name could suggest something. They're on a bit of a run themselves. I think what you said during our break about how they're playing, they play a lot of pressure, a high press. They manage to maintain it. They keep it very strongly. Other side of things, in terms of defense, the Knights, they like to keep it simple, keep it basics. It's something that Frost and I talked about when we were casting them and talking about them. They keep it very simple, and they rely on the basics a lot. They get a little bit more creative on the offense. That's how they produce their goals. But what I'm seeing is, as a possible, is that Nightfall can sort of counteract that. Keep the press going, slowly but surely. The Knights just run out of boost. The net becomes open. That's how they score. All about keeping the pressure for me in terms of Nightfall. But as usual, I don't like making predictions. I feel like I curse the team immediately when I make it, which is why I step back. It's a good thing we have our lovely producer D-Lynch to fill in the gap for us. He's saying 3-1 on the side of the Knights. They're going to continue their run, according to him, thanks to the Irish flag being flown. But Pig, you actually are brave enough to go up against your caster curse and beat it frequently. What are you thinking?
Well, we've seen two sweeps, one from either side to get to this position. So they've had arguably short runs to get into this point. I know that Nightfall had to play a 5-minute overtime, but I think it's going to get stretched all the way out now. It's going to go to a game 5. These two play styles are going to clash, but at the end of the day, it's not league play anymore. You cannot have draws, and I'm going to give that victory to the team we saw previously on B stream, Nightfall.
Well, according to you, the name is suggesting something quite big there for the Nightfall team. They could be marching on. Guys, I think we get them into this. They've been waiting for a while. D-Lynch, get them into the game. Get them into the lobby. Let's get this going. The lowest semi-finals beckons for both these teams. My Carl on the right here is loading up with the players. The lobby's loading up with the players. We're about ready to start game 1. The countdown begins. Lives on the line, continuing the tournament, and all that hype, all that build-up, we have to restart. Lovely. Thank you very much, everyone. Much appreciated. That was the best intro I've done today. And of course, for some reason, the caster curse affects me there, and we have to restart.
Well, it's such an exciting match. Why not give it the respect it deserves with some more build-up, let's just say. We won't call this technical difficulties. Of course, Dragon, we planned this ahead of time, okay? A little false start to get the audience going to be like, oh, hey, it's a bit like VAR. in modern football. Keeps everyone guessing. Okay.
Everyone VAR. That is a bad comparison. It's like having the ball suddenly deflate on the middle of the pitch. I don't think there's any good way of putting technical difficulties here. But we digress. We can use it as a little bit more build up. As producer D Lynch, do we have the lobby back up? Is that ready to go? Awesome.
Okay, there we go.
Lobby's back up. Players will be rejoining. At least
Bit
it
of a
wasn't
spanner in the works. Bit of a spanner in the works.
What I'm saying is, at least it's not the middle of the series to have that. Funnily enough, I don't think I've heard of either of these teams using a. Did they use a timeout in the previous series or any of them? No,
None of that. No.
Knights didn't either. They were very confident with things. But from what I heard from the Nightfall series, is Mirage was slowly starting to ramp up. So I'm sure that temptation was there, but no, they held out. They have that confidence to just keep going and keep with their story, and keep with what they're doing. Almost the same thing with Knights. They just keep going with the flow, and it works out for them. They keep their style, they keep their form, and they find a way to win. So once again, attempt 2, game number 1, lives on the line, yada yada yada. Get going, kick off. Here we go. Rev winning out on the possession, but Sir Cubics will be the one bringing out the field. Shots just off target, but Mithril will make sure that doesn't go anywhere near their goal. Rev.
Well, they've really got this match started. An early attack here from Knights, the team we said would be playing it more simple, hanging back, being the first team to actually cause some pressure. And a bit of a mistake on the line. A team that you said were so good with their simplicity, they won't be making more mechanical mistakes like that. Maybe a little bit of jitters, especially with, like we said, a bit of a shake-up to start things off.
As I was saying, simplicity. That is a very, very good passing play to kick us off. Rev doesn't get in the way. Sad Monkey off the backboard. Shattered Fusion just about gets to the ball first. Just about directs into the back of the net. That's the start we have. 1 goal to the better team of Knights. Sad Monkey sending it straight outfield off the backboard. Shattered Fusion can't find the net. That drops down in front of the net. Cubics can't find it. The back of the net. Sad Monkey tries it. Finds the goal. And that's 2-0.
And this was just complete chaos. Cubics definitely should have scored here. Efficiency clears it out to the opposing player, Sad Monkey, who I've heard has been on form all day. There was a neutral demo on the pitch. It's been, I would say, a bit of a messy start so far, especially from the Nightfall side, who don't look as coordinated as they've previously been. And just I say that, we see an immediate double commit, which forces them a bit on the back foot, gives Knights some time to regroup. A demo there from Rev, tries to get it infield. No one at that front post. If there was a third man ready from Nightfall, that certainly could have been dangerous. And I see you on my second monitor there, scoffing that beautiful fake we just saw.
It was lovely. It was lovely. Just suddenly stop. That's what I mean by simple. They are very creative when it comes to the mind games and some game sense. That's where their creativity lies. All their mechanics, very simple. They keep it basic so they can rely on each other more. It makes the rotations stronger. It makes the attach stronger. That's the strength of this Nightfall team. On the other side, Knights team, the Nightfall side, what you said about them being able to keep pressure, that comes down to communication and chemistry, which at the moment is just being dismantled by a team that has confidence in each other.
And that was not the Mr. Efficiency I saw in the previous series. It's a mistake as last man back, gives a clear open shot for Knights, and it's quite interesting because I think Nightfall have had quite a decent amount of possession. You wouldn't expect a 3-0 scoreline this early. But it seems like Dragon, you've read the play perfectly.
Hey, I don't make predictions, so things like this can happen for teams. If I call the shot early, that's when things start to go wrong for them. But I'm happy to see it's going exactly as I thought it would. This Knights team, it looks very boring how they play. I know that. I understand. But sometimes the glory in how you play is in just simply your game sense and understanding on how things are going to go. As this team, Nightfall, put onto their back foot, they're the ones being put under pressure by a team that's just want to take shots. They want to be direct with every single play. They just get up, get the shots on target. If you don't have enough boost, you get out. And that's how their rotations work. It's simple, it's effective. Mr. Efficiency has the challenge. It's on the backboard. But no one there. It's taking way too long for them to get the shots on. And slowly that, what could have been a bomb, is eventually just diffused by the Knights.
And I think Efficiency thought they had a goal there, and that ball just kept on going up, hugging that crossbar, making it impossible. But at that point, you've got to be calling for a teammate. You know you have only one option here, and it's banging it off that backboard. But Nightfall, they've shown some promise. This certainly isn't the best we've seen them play. But Knights, fair play to them. They have been strong throughout.
Funny enough, looking at the stats, the Knights have actually spent a lot of their time on the defense. That's how they're developing these players. They're just waiting very, very patiently for the moment that they can attack and move upfield. They spend very little time in offense because, like I said, they're direct. They just go for a few shots and it should go in. Don't mess around. Shattered Fusion. Shot just off target. Mr. Efficiency has time here. Knocks it away. That's not close enough, and Sad Monkey's able to parry it back. The Nightfall side, they're slowly getting things together. We have seen a good improvement from them. The thing is, they're just wasting the ball on transition upfield, so all their attacks are very easy to get rid of for the Knights side. There's that shot on target. Mithril out to the side. 40 seconds to go. 3-0 deficit intact.
And Efficiency with no boost here has to make the most of what he's got. Be efficient, you could say, but Mithril now, he was their star man in the previous game, has continued to pile on the pressure, and that's an incredible save here by Shattered and cleaned up well by their teammates. Even though they're constantly in defense, it almost feels like every single save is a calculated pass to another teammate. And the communication is certainly off the charts, and I'm not even in their comms, and you can just tell by the way they play. This is two teams that are so connected with each other, but play completely different styles, and this ball is going to hit the floor. We've got our first result. Knights, I mean, 3-0 screams confident, but they had their chances, the Shadow side.
Absolutely did, and it wasn't like they threw them away. There were direct shots, they were going to go in, and the Knights managed to get there and position themselves correctly. On a lot of occasions, it wasn't about Nightfall being off target. It was about the Knights being able to read them and get it out and away. They managed to diffuse the pressure on them and keep playing their own game. Nightfall on the other side of things, they let things through. In fact, looking at the numbers, Nightfall were much more balanced in terms of every player, about 50-50 on offense and defense. On the side of the Knights, Sir Cubics and Sad Monkey, 73 and 71% on defense. They were just waiting for Nightfall to give them the ball and put it back upfield. The possession might have been on the side of the Nightfall, but the Knights calm and collected every single time.
And it's quite interesting because I believe Mirage played pretty similar to what we're seeing from Knights right now. Very defensive, very drop back. They're willing to clean up the ball. They'll make these miraculous superhero saves and they'll try and clean it up. The difference is Knights have got that next step. They know what to do after the save. They know how to begin the transition into offense and sneak in a lot of these counter-attacking goals. And Nightfall, they just don't look like themselves right now, and it's a best of 5. You really don't have much time to get yourself back into the series. They need to get themselves back, and they need to do it now.
So that grand finals that get notched up to a best of 7. All the drama culminates then. Sir Cubics leading this team in terms of the back line, but they'll start to put pressure and move upfield. Sad Monkey. Again, big clearance upfield, big challenge from Rev. But again, calm and collected. They're putting in awkward spots, giving themselves time. Sir Cubics looking for the far corner. Won't find a way through. Still at 0-0. Only for a
no.
moment. Sir Cubics can't find the net. Follow up from Sad Monkey off to the side. Here comes Shattered Fusion. The shot's on target again. Rev making the clearance. Here's the pressure that I think you expected from Nightfall, but it's all coming from the Knights. They're putting all of the pressure on the Nightfall. They have the boost. Can't quite find the net. It's almost the opposite story that we saw from last game.
But Rev in a 1v1 has to face Cubics, who does very well to completely read that play. Mithril now has an opportunity, has to just put that on target. It was completely open, and now both teams thinking they should be 1-0 ahead. Oh my word, Dragon. I can see you hand in head. That is a brutal way to keep the scoreline 0-0, and I think we're going to see frustration from both teams now.
Who's going to turn that frustration back into calm, or into the perfect amount of anger that you just harness it? Shattered Fusion, shot just off target, lures one out, and Sad Monkey will follow up. That's the Knights' way. They lure you out with one shot, and it's so simple on the follow. Mithril looking for the challenge, but Sad Monkey's already read it. Great communication, the Knights won up.
And Mithril, he was turning away from the ball, and Rev just wasn't ready for it. As third man, you have to have one person just going for that ball there. I know it came out of nowhere with a missed hit from Mr. Efficiency, essentially giving away possession to the Knights, but and that was a tough angle for Mr. Efficiency. A great save from Sad Monkey as they tried to transition that defense into offense once more. Rev, however, low boost, does well to bring the ball forward, doesn't use their flip, gets the ball in the middle, Efficiency's there, bangs it on the backboard, might try to find a but Mithril struggling to keep it down despite all of Efficiency's efforts. Mithril's had to turn around, get back involved, Efficiency again. Now this is more what we were expecting, these quick cuts, turning around, staying involved. They just have to get the ball on target. Mithril gives himself another chance, finds it in field, Efficiency, and oh my word, it's the post!
How have Nightfall not equalized this game as one drops down? Shattered Fusion, the shot is weak. Rev and Mithril were able to work together to get rid of that one. How have this Nightfall team not found the net with those opportunities? Mr. Efficiency drops down. Sad Monkey out towards the side. Shattered Fusion. Can't find it. Mithril dropped down. Sir Cubics with the clearance. Here's Shattered Fusion who will try and follow up, but Rev will be the one to clear it off back lines in towards the center. Mithril to Rev. Control. Into the 50-50. Sad Monkey will keep it away, and Shattered Fusion work together. It's still 1-0 for the Knights, but it's very, very tentative. They need to find another to make it a little bit clear for themselves.
Feels like after that big offense from Nightfall, the action's almost slowed down a bit. Both teams being a lot more calculated. That was a nice shot from Sad Monkey, and even better save from Mithril, who's been so strong defensively overall. Rev, one more touch on the ball, that could have been the difference. These small little things can be the difference between you advancing to those lower finals or getting knocked out here in the lower semis. It's Knights scrambling here in defense, and like we said before, you think that Nightfall should have a goal, and I don't think it's much to the credit of the Knights defense. There are opportunities which 9 times out of 10 you've got to get it in.
Just in that one moment, the Nightfall team were a little bit too close to each other. That demo opens up an opportunity to Rev. Shattered Fusion off the sidewall. Mithril has to follow up. Can't find the net. But they're getting even closer. Mr. Efficiency trying to drop it down to Mithril. That'll leak out into the red half of the pitch. On the play, Rev leaving it from Mithril. Once again, Nightfall putting things together, but it's just a little bit too wide, a little bit too easy to read. So Knights can just get rid of it. And not playing for that shot, sitting in the middle. They don't need to. 0 seconds. Last opportunity for Nightfall. Can they keep it up and alive? Rev, the shot. Sad Monkey will keep it away, but that's still up. Mr. Efficiency keeps it alive at least for a moment. Mithril into the middle. Rev kept away. Big clearance. No one's catching that.
Wow.
Knights 2-0 up.
And that was game, but it is not match. Knights now sitting on match point. I think a frustrating match if you're a Nightfall fan or player. They had so much of that offense. They conceded very early to Knights, who looked like they were going to go on a complete offensive tear for the full 5 minutes. But once they got that first goal, they were happy. They just sat back. They let things happen. They knew from now on, we just don't need to concede. And as good as their defense was at times, I think that 0 next to Nightfall's name was from some pretty poor shooting in some important situations.
Yeah, this was a time where it wasn't really Kings beating Nightfall, it was Nightfall beating themselves, in terms of just not taking opportunities, not taking chances. That is 12 shots, and at least 4 or 5 of them went begging in terms of not being put in the back of the net. Once again, it's a Knights performance of them just keeping it basic, keeping it simple, keeping Nightfall as far away from the net as they possibly could. It's just the Nightfall. They're starting to get through a lot more. They need to take that sort of almost momentum and mindset into this game 3. They need to start this reverse sweep. It's the only choice they have at this point. So it'll come down to this. One team goes home, the other will keep their story alive. And Nightfall could make it a whole lot more interesting as Rev starts the scoring. That's how you do it. Nightfall 1-0 up within 5 seconds.
And it was strong off the kickoff, but there was still some work to be done by Mithril. Perfect in the corner, gets the pre-flip hit, and I don't know if that demo was calculated, I don't know if he was marching for it, but it was perfection, and it was exactly what Nightfall needed. For once, they now open up the scoreline and force Knights to create an offense of their own. No more sitting back, they've got to respond.
Well, it depends how they do sit back. I think this comes down to the pressure and how it's applied for this Nightfall team. They keep scoring, keep shooting, then you can lure out this Knights team. I think they can't just relieve the pressure now and think this 1-goal lead is going to do it. They need to keep scoring, keep the pressure on the Knights' side to make sure they are leaving their own half. Big thing about that, you need to get the transitions upfield right. If you have someone waiting back, add someone up there, add someone charging up, turn it into a dribble play. The deep line that the Knights can hold, open things up for them being dribbled on. Well, that sounds weird, but you get what I mean. They'll bring it up on the ground, keeping control of it, lure Knights out into the challenges and the 50-50s. I think that's how Knights need to play now. Well, Nightfall. The close names are getting me confused.
Yeah, it is a bit rough. I mean, we saw a team win Rendezvous, so thinking about the casters, and I think, these teams clearly did not care for us right now with these names, but the pressure continues now. Knights still ready to just stay back and just save all that boost, all that together, nice partnerships, and try to beat these 3 players with Mr. Efficiency. One thing I've got to commend from him, how good he is at just holding that ball close in such tough situations and just completely misdirecting their opponents.
Just spotted Sad Monkey in the classic Gibbs position there. Straight on the goal line. Anything that comes his way surely would be put out towards the side. It's a little bit too close together from Nightfall. That won't matter. Mithril saw the top shelf, decided to place the ball on it.
And there we go, the scoreline now doubled in the favour of Nightfall, and this is exactly what you need if you want to start the reverse sweep. If you can get that win in game number 3, do it in some pleasant fashion. Get Knights a little bit shaken, because they were, I'm sure, slightly confident heading into this game that they could close it out. But closing a series, it doesn't matter the situation, it's one of the hardest things you can do. You cannot fall into complacency, and I don't think they have. It's just Nightfall. Just look that level strong, and oh my word, what a goal that would have been, Dragon.
Absolutely insane from the Nightfall team. But the big thing they're starting to get right,
no.
as I said, it's all about the transition upfield. they've noticed on the last 2 plays, they either have a simple net to go for, or a one-on-one play, or we have a player just sitting back and waiting. And they've used that time. They brought it upfield. As I said, they can keep it on the ground a lot of the time with this Knights team. And they're doing so. They're identifying better how they need to attack and how they need to challenge a play. So much more in this game. We've had 2 whole games of research put into this Knights side, and now it's all coming to fruition as Mithril can't find the net. Mr. Efficiency off the diagonal into the center. Sad Monkey clear it away from Mithril. Rev on the back line, clearing it out towards the side as Sad Fusion comes through looking for a physical play. That doesn't come through, and once again the Knights find themselves on the back line, and it's Nightfall still attacking.
And I got a DM from Kingsman saying that Knights, before this series began, were talking about how to take it from the back, and it seems that Nightfall have had that same conversation in between games 2 and 3. The transition play has just been excellent. Just I say that, the 2 Nightfall players have ended up bumping each other and giving away that 1v1. Knights finally get their goal, but it comes from a tragic mistake from Nightfall.
Big commits upfield from Nightfall, and on the other side of things, just a relaxed play from Shattered Fusion. Had the opportunity, and just like as I said on the other side with Nightfall, just take it relaxed. It's a normal 1v1. Get the goal. Did so. Knights team are very relaxed when they come forward. And it came out on that play. Mithril to Rev. Locked out. Here's how Nightfall play. If they get you on the defensive, they just play it simple. They keep the challenges going, keep the 50-50s. And slowly but surely, they find a way through. Shattered Fusion. Shot on target. What an angle. What a shot. The placement. Perfection to the back post. We all thought this was over for Nightfall in terms of this game. They were going to win it. But the Knights are rising back up again and saying, not so fast. We've got this.
And just when you thought the game was dead, it was 2 goals in relatively rapid succession, and with 50 seconds left, you actually backed that they could have a chance, especially with some of these mistakes. And Nightfall is making the efficiency does well here. Mithril, oh my gosh. Trying to go for the fake here. Sad Monkey keeps it forward, and oh, it's cleaned by Rev. That one had me worried here, Dragon, but it's not over yet. 30 seconds left to go, but desperation starting to get higher. Knights need to score to stay here. That bump, crucial, as was that demo in not conceding a 4. We go back down to 15 seconds now. Efficiency ahead of the ball. Sad Monkey with the chance. Rev for the save. It's still popped up. There's an opportunity. It's in the cross. 4 players forward. And they can't put it in. 5 seconds left. Keep the ball high. From now on, you cannot let it touch the floor. And Mithril sends it long. Shattered keeps it up. Cubics gets the luckiest touch on the corner here. I'm not even going to pretend he calculated that. Sad Monkey trying to find Shattered Fusion. Rev just trying to put an end to it all. And put an end to it all he does. The reverse sweep attempt begins.
Oh, what a fascinating way for it to start. 3 goals unanswered for Nightfall, and the Knights decide we've had enough. We want this game. We want this series. Not quite enough just yet, but that is a warning shot to Nightfall. You need to keep the pressure on. You need to keep scoring. You need to make sure the Knights cannot come back into it. And it's exactly what they did in this game. Wow. We have a series on our hands once again.
This game was incredible. This was, exactly the performance I think we were expecting heading into this. It was really tight. It was still conflicting playstyles, but at the end of the day, it was only 1 goal that formed the difference between them. And I think Knights now, they've got to be really careful heading into the next game, because if they drop it, that's it. The reverse sweep is only 1 game away, and I don't think Nightfall are going to fall off short. Mithril stepped up again.
Both teams coming in from sweeps. And why not? Just get another one. Just in reverse. Different type.
Oh, well, it would certainly be some entertainment. I don't care the result, but one thing's for sure, Dragon, I want that game at 5. This has been too exciting of a game to end too quickly, but if Knights pull off an absolute masterclass like they're trying to early into this match, you can't deny them the win. And Shattered Fusion, big boom on the ball, efficiency waiting behind. Fusion doesn't let it happen. A quick bump. Monkey waiting in third is beaten by Rev here, who cuts rotation very well. And Cubics abandons that ball, lets it roll past efficiency. I don't know if that was a calculated fake or not. Shattered again with some space, and that's a player who just seems to have an instant impact here in game number 4.
The Knights on the front foot. Finally, a little bit more of that coming into play for them. Mithril, that's to the side, looking for Rev. That's blocked out by Sir Cubics, but finds a way to keep the ball moving forward. That's heroic defense on the line for Shattered Fusion and Sad Monkey. They can begin the counter now. Sad Fusion upfield looking for Cubics, blocked away by Mr. Efficiency. A minute in, no goals for either side. I would say once again, warnings on both the teams. Be careful, sent back to and from each other as they push the ball upfield to try and make an impact on this game. Mithril, the shots just off target. So Cubics out to the middle though. That's a little bit of a mistouch. Rev has an opportunity. What about Mr. Efficiency as well? Drop down slow. Sad Monkey pushes out towards the side. Still 0-0.
And it's well defended by Knight, and they go again. Another save by Shattered Fusion. Nightfall with so much pressure, so many strikes on net, all on target. But it was the defense from Knights that was so impressive, so much that Rocket League doesn't credit the double saves and the triple saves. It says they only got 2. I must have counted about 4 or 5. Nightfall, though, haven't ended their pressure. They're still in this Knight's half, looking for that 50-50 as Mr. Efficiency. And now is a chance for Sir Cubics to try and transition this play into his own team's offense. And, well, it was very short-lived. Efficiency doing well to clean it up. Rev waiting forward. Efficiency going for the bump. Mithril not scared to commit here. It's going to be a bit risky, especially if Shattered can do anything with it. And the 50 finds behind, and maybe a small moment of calm as we wait for this 50-50.
Good defending coming out from Nightfall. They're starting to wisen up a little bit to the Knights' play style. They keep it simple, but they also give chances for you to keep it away. Rev faking out the redirect a little bit. Sad Monkey still in the way. So Cubics and Shattered Fusion keeping it out once again. The Knights, they're staying calm on defense, but Nightfall are just they keep going. They keep attacking. They keep the pressure going. It's exactly what you said at the start of this series. We're finally seeing it come to fruition. The Nightfall team are starting to put on more and more pressure, and it's so much harder for the Knights team to just simply escape like they did in previous games. Mr. Efficiency cleared out to the center. Sad Monkey denied an open shot on target. Here come Nightfall again. Big demo to open up the net, but Rev goes for the wrong shot. It was open down on the ground, but went for the air dribble to try and get closer to make sure it could go in. But still, it's good enough pressure for Nightfall to keep going on offense.
And Knights' defense, we can't say it's not been great. It's been amazing. They're currently on a clean sheet. They've made a hell of a lot of saves, but it's a very risky play style to be playing in such a high pressure situation. You lose your cool for 1 second, you lose your composure. That's it. You fall behind, and this Nightfall team won't stop the pressure after they've scored their first goal. They defend with offense, and they're such a hard team to deal with as they try and create something else. Mithril is behind. The ball flies a bit too far over him to get the immediate forward progress. Sends it off well to Rev, who wants to get that read. Unfortunately, it hits the waterfall, goes straight down, makes it a little bit more difficult for him. And Mr. Efficiency is another shot on net, and Shattered Fusion gets the save. I mean, I feel like we just keep on repeating ourselves. It's a shot from Nightfall, it's a save from Knights. Can we have a change of pace? Sad Monkey this time, trying to put on some offense, unable to get it on target. And if they're going to play this style, have these offenses be so rare, you gotta put them away!
Fusion!
And Fusion, no!
Both teams, it's a heavy shots difference. 9 shots to the 4. But the Knights, they've coped with so much pressure. They've been a sponge. They're hoping to make an impact in the last few seconds. A last gasp winner could take this entire series. All the fight the Nightfall has shown, almost taken away in the last 10 seconds. But they'll want to make it fall. Sad Monkey brings it up. Still an opportunity at 0 seconds. Mr. Efficiency, that's a great drop down. Keep it away from your net. Let's go again. Overtime. Efficiency wants to make it quick. Can't find it. Almost game 5 booked in. Within 5 seconds. Let's try and make it 15. Hey, Rev, almost second touch in. That's dropping down in front of net. Sad Monkey has to get there in time. Gets there first. Mithril out. Put it into the center. No one challenging. Mr. Efficiency to the backboard. Shattered Fusion just waiting for that touch. How about Rev now? Rev, the shot is just up and wide. The first 30 seconds, fast and frenetic. But again, it's Nightfall's series and game almost to lose now.
And it's an overtime that is, picked up where it left off in regular. It's Nightfall having a majority of the pressure, creating those chances. Knights on the back foot, trying to play this drop back game where they want to make a transition. Mithral does well to beat 2 players, can't get past the first
shots.
Shattered Fusion with. Oh my word, it's incredible! And they make it to the lower finals!
The run is alive. The story continues. The Iron Wool defensive Knights, they kept on defending. They kept the pressure going. They were a sponge. And all of a sudden, the last few moments, Nightfall, they just let down their guard, and the Knights will fly through to the lower bracket finals. The run, the dream continues for the Knights. And Nightfall, they put everything into that game. You cannot deny that. But the Knights, every single shot, we see it in the replays in the background. My goodness, every single shot, they were just there and ready.
Wow. Just wow. I mean, you can see the look on our faces. I'm starting to go a bit red. I'm completely out of breath. I'm in shock at what I have just seen. Knights ended the match how we thought we would if they were to do it, with this swift counterattack where if you blinked, you would have missed it. And Nightfall certainly did. Now, Council of Sir continue this run into the lower bracket. And as their logo suggests, they are going to fight for that crown. And I mean, let's give some credits because it will be the last time they are mentioned this season here on the B stream or on any stream. Nightfall. What a season, what a run, and honestly, what a final performance. It's just that Knights were too strong.
Absolutely. It's such a weird series to talk about.
Yeah.
In terms of how Knights' play style always looks like they're on the back foot every single second of the game. They just cannot get upfield to find the net, but they just wait. They keep it simple every single time. Their idea of playing Rocket League is just keep it away, keep it out of the net. We'll find one opportunity, exactly one opportunity to put in the back of the net, and they take it. We've had Mr. Efficiency on one team, but it's a team of efficiency when it comes to the Knights, and they'll continue and face Journeyman next in the lower bracket finals.
And what a match that promises to be. Journeyman, the first seed in the Glacies division, the same division, I believe, that Knights competed in, where they ended up in 4th seed. A little bit of revenge for this season to fight for that spot in the grand finals to face Onka. Oh my word, what a story, what a team, what a series. And ladies and gentlemen, there are more matches to go of even higher proportions. And Dragon, I'm pretty sure you're going to be there on the mainstream, is that correct?
No,
Or is it? Oh no, it's our streamer. It's our streamer who I believe will be
streamer, Mr. Dylan. She's going to be very excited to watch the next game coming up and watch the journey of the Knights continue with Sad Monkey on that roster. But I'm very interested to see how this develops, how Knights can, if they can keep that playstyle going. Can they really just hold up that much pressure against teams like Journeyman and Onka that score left, right, and center? Only time will tell.
Well, can they catch a team that has just been swept? Will they be able to continue this miracle run into the grand finals? Well, I'm sure I will be watching on the RSC_EU mainstream. I'm sure Dragon will be watching. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you all there. Thank you so much for watching the B stream.
Some things never change, never change. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never